As we continue with Torifune. Oh yeah, I'm sick and tired of people comparing certain games to other things without having played either of them. It just shows you just shows me you haven't played either. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, bro, they make a comparison. At least have the comparison make sense. Like, at least have the comparison make sense. It's why there are people who still don't fully, who still misinterpret. It's right up there. Oh yeah, no, it's right up there with the people who still think that you actually fought Hitler in Innocent Sin.
So they haven't played it.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that people love spoiling about Innocent Sin. That Hitler's the final boss. Why isn't the final boss too? That's not actually Hitler. I'm not to say that. I'm not to say that one because this is freaking Eternal Punishment. You're watching a Eternal Punishment video. I'm playing Innocent Sin. I got bigger questions for you. That's what. That's probably only 2% of games we're not actually supposed to spoil in this playthrough. If anyone says, "But Eternal Punishment came out in America before Innocent Sin," though. Yeah, guess what? Doesn't mean that's supposed to happen. I don't hate that excuse. That's also what I like to call the Dragon Ball excuse. You should be aware of the Dragon Ball excuse.
Yeah. That like Z is the more popular one, right? Nobody watched Dragon Ball.
No, the Dragon Ball excuse is, well, in the West, we didn't get Dragon Ball first, so it's alright to skip to no. Just because you went through that doesn't mean that makes it ideal at all. It's the logic that because I did it, that means it's fun. That means it's a good idea and fun. Like, no, someone should probably watch Dragon Ball first. If they don't like it, then they can skip to Z. Whatever. They don't like it. They don't like it. They didn't like it. But trying to say it's fine to do it because back in the day that's what happened, doesn't mean it's tenet at all. Doesn't mean that was the tenet at all. It was also the same thing some people do with Eternal Punishment, being like, "But Eternal Punishment came out in the West before freaking this." Yeah, what's your point? Doesn't mean that's supposed to happen. Did I tell you about the freaking issue I have whenever someone asks, what's a good where can they start the Persona series? Did I tell you my story every single time someone asked that question?
They're gonna say anywhere from 3 to 5, aren't they?
No. Whenever they ask me that question,
Oh.
the struggle I have every single time. The struggle is always, what's a good starting Persona game? Literally any of them but Eternal Punishment. Why not? Because it's a direct sequel to 2. But didn't it come out first? You want a fucking history lesson? You want to know what Persona game you want to play?
Oh yeah, I remember now.
You want a history lesson? Do you want to know what Persona game to play? Like, goddamn. I hate when people start going, but why can't I play this one first? Like, you want to play it first? Do whatever if you want. Or you don't listen to me. Why are you asking me questions then? Stop wasting my time. We're out there with the people who go, which one should I start with? But they clearly have an answer, and they just want you to basically confirm their answer. And it's like, well, why not go with the one you clearly want to play? Like, goddamn. Or the people are like, but I heard I can start with this one. Then why are you asking me this question? You know the answer. It's like, bro, you don't need someone else to confirm your choice. You can just do it. You want to play 5 first? Go ahead. You want to play 3 first? Go ahead. You want to play freaking 1 first? Go the F ahead. You don't need someone to validate your idea. Just effing do it. Now time for a different topic that gets me heated. And I made tweets about. Because this one gets me heated because I heard it on a stream. Armando, what's my favorite Persona game?
3.
You see, I was told by a streamer that there's no way my favorite Persona game is 3.
Oh?
And that they don't believe the people in chat who said their favorite Persona game is 3.
Why?
because they have issues with 3, and they feel like the issues are quote-unquote objective issues. And not only that, they fully see the idea that on certain aspects, you are allowed to complain about the idea that for certain things, you are allowed to complain about a previous game in a franchise lacking quality of life features that future games had. And it's like, that's not how that works. Like, that's not how that works. I just recorded my SP. And then when anyone in the chat who says P3 is their favorite is solely blind by nostalgia. And it got me into the nostalgia bias rules, and I made the rules and post them on Twitter. You see your money, ready? If your favorite entry in a franchise is the first one you played, then that means you're blinded by nostalgia. Unless the first entry you played was the newest one at the time. So you see, Persona 5 fans who start with P5, they're not blinded by bias of P5 being their first Persona games. Because it's the newest one, so that means it just made quote-unquote objective upgrades. But if your favorite is like P3 or P4, you're blinded by nostalgia. However, if your favorite entry is old, but it's also the most popular one, so let's say your favorite Zelda game is Ocarina of Time, then you don't have nostalgia bias, no, because people love Ocarina of Time, so that just means the future games must not have just not have lived up to it. Because otherwise it wouldn't be the fan favorite. And the most important thing, you can't insult the fan favorite unless the fan favorite gets a remake, in which case, now you're allowed to bash the original hard. In fact, mofos will jump out of the woodworks, people will be coming out from underneath your bed just to bash the fan favorite entry. Like, goddamn, the sheer amount of people that come out of the woodworks to bash freaking. Oh yeah, the people came out of the woodworks to bash something like Final Fantasy VII, Ocarina of Time N64 version, and freaking Persona 5 just came out of the woodworks. The moment those games got any sort of different release. It was to the point I was convinced that Final Fantasy VII fans just hated Final Fantasy VII. Because once that remake, in air quotes, came out, suddenly it's Final Fantasy VII OG was trash and sucked, and this is how it should have been from the beginning. And it's like, I thought this was your favorite Final Fantasy game. Now you're literally bashing it because this remake came out and it's pretty, so therefore it's the better version. And you think about it, the OG was actually trash the whole time. Or the people who trash Vanilla P5, and mind you, even people who never played Vanilla P5 trash Vanilla P5. And it's like, you never even played a fucking game. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you to be like, Vanilla P5 is some trash? If someone was like 3/4 through Vanilla P5, I'd tell them to just drop the game and buy Royal on the spot. Like, motherfucker, you paying for that copy of Royal? No, shut the F up. I'd tell them just immediately stop playing the game on the spot. It's like, who the hell are you? Yep, I went... and then I went backwards. I guess I gotta go over to the right. And people act as if Vanilla P5 is some unplayable mess that'll freaking poison your water supply, punch you in the face, and call you Shirley. It's like, most people even played it again. People are like, oh man, the gun mechanic must have been so awful and trash Vanilla P5. It's like, did you play it? Because you didn't, and you're just pouring crud out of your butt. Or the people who like, man, Final Fantasy VII always looked like trash. I'm like, what are you talking about? Literally, the reason people play Final Fantasy VII was because of the fact that it was pre at the time. It was literally had graphics that were not foreseen at the time during the '90s. That's why people freaking played the game. That's why the ads didn't tell you it was an RPG. They just said, look at these graphics, and then people played the game and they liked it. But all of a sudden, nah, the FMVs were always trash even for that time. It's like, no, they weren't. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? I feel like I'm turning into freaking the Anime House's version of Yusuke Urameshi whenever a character said that Yu Yu Hakusho's animation looks bad, and he kept saying it was HD for its time. My god, I'm not even a freaking huge Final Fantasy VII mark, and I'm over here gonna freaking defend Final Fantasy VII.
It happens.
Bro, that's the dumbest part. It's like when I actually have to defend Xenoblade 2. I'm not even a Xenoblade 2 fan. I gotta defend Xenoblade 2 because Xenoblade 2 fans are stupid. Oh, this is the appropriately named Room of Insult. This is the Tenchu Army. Seems like we're caught in a trap. There's also the work of that Nyar or something. Isn't it weird? Why does he kill his own men? It's true that the New World Order isn't aware of the secret of Torifune. He thinks of humans as mere pawns. They probably don't even know of his existence. This ship, him, none of wants anything a human should mess with. I feel like I'm playing the hero, but a lot of people died. Even I wouldn't think that this would be enough. Grandma said I want to help people, and I do without thinking of the consequences. I fully understand. Tata said it's part of the conscious world. Our hearts are created by multiple layers. Number of egos, the view of the self, with our consciousness lying beneath. Below this, each society has one culture, family, etc., collective consciousness. These abysses spread out infinitely. They're the normal unconscious sea of unconsciousness all humans share. The tiny island floating in that sea. That's ego. If it is the people's rumors that create the ship, then you can call this Sumer society's unconsciousness. Anything else you want to say, mofo? Kill them because they're calling chaos. We're not letting them get away. I only don't want to kill Tatsuzo. Alright, we're gonna pass through of insult. Yeah, just the idea that, nah, you only that's probably kamikaze. Just the idea like, nah, P3 is only your favorite because of nostalgia and nothing else. And it's like, bro, I can see the same thing about you at P5 Royal. Like, yes, the first thing in the first entry in a series of anything that you enjoyed will probably shape your perspective. You know, just like how this mofo, this mofo I'm talking about, refuses to play Persona 1 and 2 because they don't have social links. Almost as if you played P5, which had social links, so it shapes your perspective and what you feel Persona game should have. Despite them ironically playing P5 Dancing and P5 Strikers which don't have social links, but people don't want to cut the spin-offs! People don't want to cut the spin-offs, they don't want to cut the spin-offs, they don't want to cut the spin-offs of that and this, nah, so they can do whatever they want. Mainline game, nah, F you, gotta do the certain thing. Otherwise, F you, Atlas, you ruined my childhood. Oh my goodness, people freaking hated P5 Strikers when it was announced, and I'm tired of revisionist history, people trying to pretend like they didn't hate it. People freaking bashed Strikers when it was announced. Because what? It's a spin-off game? That's Muso gameplay? I didn't ask for that. I wanted to ask for stuff for Switch. Dude, I've met people in person who said that P5 Strikers not being a Switch port was quote-unquote one of the most biggest disappointments ever seen. I had to show that person what real disappointment looked like. And I didn't let them leave till I got the message.
Surprised they don't like it because it's not a spin-off of Royal.
No. Mind, at this time, when Strikers was announced, Royal was also announced. We didn't know much about Royal at that time.
Oh.
Remember, Royal and Strikers were made at the same time.
Oh, okay.
It's why Strikers doesn't really mention Royal, but they did add some Royal Easter egg stuff. Because we're maybe around the freaking at the same time. But at that point, we didn't know anything about Roya. At that point, all we knew about Roya was that there was some new girl who would maybe be working with Akechi. Remember I told you that freaking initial trailer had nothing to do with what Roya actually came out to be?
Yeah.
Rumor damnation. Hey everybody, wait up a second. Let's walk a little slower. Suck it up. You can't keep up with leaving you. Can't be helped. I don't walk this much, even at work. Isn't there a place to recover? It has been a while, but I got it. There's a velvet room we could rest there. It's there, a fountain, a velvet room. Really? It's awfully suspicious that another tough guy decides whether or not to make our thoughts a reality, right? Why does he give things so conveniently? He's playing with us. I don't know what he's up to, but I can use it, then I will. Are you playing Final Fates out here?
Awkward ass silence. Thanks for saving me.
This is the burden of sin. You don't have to worry about me. What? Why?
Oh,
Why is my
shit.
only Chinya next to Maya? That's cruel. You don't care about us? Get back. These are illusions, not my heart cold. Damn. Tatsuya, what's the promise to protect Maya and a lie? It's okay. You don't have to suffer by yourself anymore. Oh, where's Tatsuya-kun? What did you say? Shh, we fell for it. Come on, we gotta find them. Oh, come on, Maya. What were you doing? Wait, I'm not one of mostly at fault. They pulled a dirty trick on us. I like his style. Too bad won't do him any good. Damn, Tatsuya's letting his pride get in the way. He's trying to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. So how much would it cost in this room? Let's say knows no law, huh? But these prices are outrageous. Is there anything we can do about it? Well, she's charging us with a cute face, what a money-grubbing fairy. A fairy with a grief for money, huh? What an empty dream. In the end, dreams are just people's illusions. $25K, that's not. I was expecting worse. Oops. Man, I have to leave. Let's go find that boy. I just got whisked away. Tatsu really ain't listening to his own advice. Oh, just don't think about anything. Something else I just remembered. That weird thing I mentioned where, nah, P3 can't be my favorite because that's be nostalgia bias. Yet, when I said that my favorite Persona 5 game was Strikers, I got weird looks because I didn't say my favorite P5 game was Royal. Like, let me get this straight. P3 can't be my favorite because nostalgia bias. But if I go with the most recent P5 game, that also can't be my favorite because it's not Royal. I'm living the logic, man.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yep. I get weird looks if I say Striker's my favorite Persona 5 game because what about Royal? Like, what about Royal? So I was like, bro, what about Royal?
The best villain!
Don't remind me of there's people who literally point out the best P5 villain in Strikers, and then people go, yeah, but what about the villain in Royal? What about the villain in Royal? Man, they're really out-damaging us. Well, that guy's almost dead, so that's good. But why isn't he dying faster? Let's see a basic attack because magic's not doing anything. I'm trying to remember something. Conversation I had with my brother. I'm trying to remember what it was. Trying what the conversation was. I don't know what it was. It was me and our brother talking about the villain of Final Fantasy VI and what makes the villain good / what makes the villain interesting. To which I then said, "You see, you say that, well, how come when I say how the P1 villain is literally the exact same thing as that, suddenly people say the P1 villain quote unquote has no character?" And I'm like, how come I change it to the P1 villain? Suddenly people go, the P1 villain has no character and nothing about them. So everybody looks at you guys. A green screen? Oh, looks like a green screen. Nope, just a barrier. Just a barrier. What's the point of giving me an elevator game? You just wanted me to go in order. Why give me an elevator? Still find weird or freaking. I refuse to play a Persona game that doesn't have social links. Same people then jump into freaking the arena games and freaking Strikers. Like, bro, you literally just play 2 Persona games that don't have that don't have social links. Or all the big, huge, big P5 fans who love anything P5 related and will play it. Unless it's Q2, in which case that has a difficulty they aren't one to cross. Tasha's still alive. We must hurry. Did you know that Persona Q? Do you know that Persona Q2, a freaking P5 game, didn't sell the best? And everyone made every excuse under the sun for why they totes had legit reasons for why they couldn't play it. Cause it was a 3DS game that came out when the 3DS was already done with, and it's like y'all are acting as if Persona Q1 wasn't literally one of if not the best selling Persona spin-offs. And yet Q2 got a fraction themselves. Hey, don't give me that. Don't give me that lie. Or the I totes play it, but how come it's not on Switch? It's like, bro, when is this before P5 was on Switch? It's like, bro, but the kind of logic is that?